What's going on, Vigo's Court? Court is now in session. I am your judge, Judge Vader, and I am joined by Counselor Rambo. We don't normally have a Counselor Rambo here, but we're really excited to have Counselor Rambo join us.
Are we? I don't think Counselor Rambo's excited.
Well, trust me, we're excited to have you. And guys, today we do have Prestige and Undying Alliance playing today. This should be a really exciting matchup, honestly,
It really
guys.
should be.
Ooh.
It really should be.
Talk
Jazzy showed out in the first round,
about.
like brought out twins and really went in. And then UA was just peak efficiency. I think they're the most efficient team we've seen so far.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams have high-profile killers that can really put pressure on a Survivor team, but also both of these teams have really good coordination on the Survivor side to put pressure back on the killers. So we should see four really exciting trials today.
Yeah, because we are switching from the one on each side format to two on each side format. We also have two maps today, Thompson House and Gas Heaven.
Oh yeah, this is going to be super exciting. Guys, I hope you guys are ready because we're in for a treat. All right, and what are you expecting, Rambo, today from the teams? Like, what killers are you expecting on Thompson House specifically, since we're starting with it?
Oh, I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of chainsaw guy, a Billy or a Bubba. But also both of these teams are really good, so you know, uh, a Spirit or ooh, man, I think those are my three picks: Billy, Bubba, Spirit.
On Thompson
Yeah,
House, I would
yeah.
agree
I
with.
mean,
I think I think we definitely could see a Bubba. I think a Bubba might be a good play. Knowing
it's also just
Jazzy,
I'm thinking in my mind of like saving tokens or saving your killer uses. So
mm-hmm,
that's why I'm like, I think Spirit's kind of high end. I
mm-hmm.
know Spirit. I think Spirit struggles in corn. I'm not a killer main, so I'm if I say something wrong, I'm just speaking from ignorance, from a very ignorant place. So
That's all right. I would say I think that Spirit actually is pretty all right in corn because she can use the corn moving as a that's where a survivor is. Like, survivors
yeah,
a
that
lot
makes
of
sense.
times try not to run through the corn because they don't want to leave those scratch marks for Spirit, but they don't realize that the corn is a lot like tall grass. Spirit can see that moving just as easy, and so it's really hard to get away from Spirit if you're caught in the corn mid-phase.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, Spirit's just strong. Period. It doesn't matter what map you're on with Spirit. I guess the indoor maps, but we're never gonna see those in Vigos. So, um, yeah, Spirit's just a strong killer in general. I'm very
Indeed.
curious. I know that Jazzy used twins. I'm trying to remember what UA used, so I'm digging in to find out.
Ooh. Well, while you're looking into that, I actually got to see both of these teams in another league that I was commentating for, Champions of the Fog, and it was a really good matchup there. So, guys, again, I'm gonna say we're in for a treat here. We didn't see them on these maps, so I'm excited to see them on these maps. We had seen them on Wrecker's Yard, and we saw High Surveillance bring like an amazing Huntress to that round. So for sure, I am excited to
Ooh,
see
Huntress
who
might
gets bra.
be Huntress might be a good one to see today as well.
Indeed, I think Huntress might be better on Gas Heaven though than Thompson House, just because Huntress does kind of not benefit from the corn as much as a Spirit would, or well, and I say that, but Huntress can still see the corn moving and know where to throw the hatchet. It's just you don't have
Yeah.
direct line of sight, so if you're trying to predict, you may miss.
Okay, you are good to move out of killer.
Oh, but that means that you guys, you're done seeing, my look-see? All right, I guess. All right, guys. So we are close to getting set to go. I'm gonna go ahead and let these survivors and killer know that they are good to go.
And UA used Oni in the first round.
Oh, nice.
And if I remember correctly, it was a pretty cracked Oni as well. So,
Well, hey, I am happy seeing a really good Oni.
I know you're not going to see it from UA
Well,
today.
not today. But if they brought in Oni and performed well, then we may see it in the league, and so that excites me for sure, knowing that they have a good Oni. So Jazzy actually played on my team within We Overslept for a while, and so I'm trying to think who I would expect Jazzy to bring. I think in Thompson House, I think you're right on with Billy. I think he would bring a. I think they would bring a Billy. I think they would.
Yeah, the only killer I'm really familiar with Jazzy, or like the correlation to Jazzy, is Twins. Every time I've ever known anything to be said about Jazzy, it's always Twins. So that's really all I get.
But Jazzy's Blight is so much better than Jazzy's Twins. So that's interesting.
I've just never heard of Jazzy's Blight. Jazzy's Blight may be cracked, maybe the best Blight in the world. I don't know. I've never seen it, never heard of it. So.
Oh my gosh, Jazzy's Blight is insane. Let me tell you, insane. I faced it. It's crazy. Just hits that you don't think should ever be able to happen. The way you take corners, but wow, super crazy. Guys, let's go ahead and take a look at these killer rules though, real quick. All right, guys. So our killers are scoring via hooks. So as we see, first and second hook is 2 points per, third hook 3 points, first progression 1 point, second progression 2 points, and then we do see those seventh and eighth progression being 1 point per. If you can get a 4K, that's 2 extra points. Entity kills are the corresponding hook and kill progressions. Bleed outs are 0 points, leaving 30 points available for our killer. All right, and guys, we are ready to get into the match here. And we're seeing a nurse? Oh, okay. So I wasn't expecting nurse here, but I actually am. Oh, we're seeing 2 DCs. We're seeing a full reset. I don't know why we're seeing the survivors DC here. Let's try to figure out what's going on.
What's the problem?
I am unaware what the problem is. High's game crashed. Technical error.
Okay, that happens.
It does happen, unfortunately.
That's the world of Dead by Daylight.
No, perfect game. Can't tell me that. Can't tell me otherwise.
Oh, no, yeah, you're right. There's not a single issue.
Never.
Not a single one. It's.
And Jazzy is already saying, no point deduction, please. I don't think we would subtract a point for a game crash anyway. Like, that's...
No.
Yeah. So, no worries there. There will be no point reduction in this case.
You
And
also have a transfer reset in the event before first hook or first generator is complete.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah.
And everyone can change their builds as much as they want. If he wants to change killers, he can change killers. Although, nurse. So, wow.
I mean, even if you know it's a nurse, like that's kind of.
Were we surprised by that?
I was definitely super surprised by seeing a nurse.
I've never heard of Jazzy and nurse, so.
I faced Jazzy's nurse, and I will definitely say, good nurse. They're very good at nurse, but I just
nurse or just good nurse.
Good nurse. I would say like, Not the best nurse I've ever faced, but they're not a bad nurse. They are definitely a comp-worthy nurse.
Okay. Heard. Yeah. I'm not surprised though, because I always associate Blight with Nurse, and if you're saying he's great as Blight, I'm not surprised that he'd be good with Nurse too.
Yeah, they really are amazing with a lot of killers. I'll tell you, having practiced against him, it is tough on any survivor team, even if they are on your team. Like, you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm going to be prepared for whoever we face because they're tough.
Yeah, Kieran, I 100% agree. Those days where we couldn't change builds were brutal.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to make sure with this go round of Vigos that we get issues like those out of the way and make this league just that much better.
Trapper nurse? What's a trapper nurse?
Trapper nurse. I have no idea what a trapper nurse would be, honestly.
No, me and my friend Casey, we have a running joke that we call Huntress Nurstress. I don't even know. I'm like sitting here talking about it and thinking about it, and I'm like, it's not even actually that funny. It's just funny to us because we're goofy.
Hey, I mean, that's okay. Humor is always the most funny in the eye of the beholder.
The beer holder.
The beer holder. Exactly. The beer holder. Oh my gosh. All right. So we're trying to get reset back up
like
to launch.
Get ready again. You can switch out a killer.
I can? Okay, sweet. We like that. I am into my spectator role where I am most comfortable.
I'd say switch it up. Let's see rule video 3, because we haven't actually seen video 3.
You're right. So we want to talk about bans and things. I like that. I'd be a fan. All right, so let's go ahead and go to that now, chat. All right, so talking about all the bans that are here within Vigo's bans and builds. All right, so yellow items and below, and no duplicate perks except borrowed time. And as well, we only have one of each item, so no two toolboxes here. Also, Prove Thyself is banned for the survivors, and Haunted Ground and Starstruck are banned for the killers. Our killer uses are limited to twice per season, in this case, once per tournament. And all of our match results are subject to review by our amazing refs. All right, guys, and we are
not amazing.
I beg to differ. You are amazing, guys. Rambo is definitely the biggest reason why Vigos is back. So I want to say the organization, everything.
It's you and your boy Q. That's the biggest reason Vigos is back.
You know, I did have to do some heavy convincing for you to allow us to come back. So I'm really happy that we were able to relaunch. I doubt they know this,
but I was a firm no. I was like, no, I'm out. I'm good.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. It took what, 4 conversations before I was like,
oh, indeed. I got told no, guys, when I was like, I want Vigos to come back. I got told no like 5 times before. And guys, we do have a chase here pretty early in the game. It looks like we have Rin being chased and being hit a little bit early. They're dropping the pallet. I don't know about the pallet play there because Nurse doesn't really care about these pallets. As we see, Rin going down pretty early within this matchup, actually. And we will see Rin get hooked in the corrupt zone, though, so that's still okay for these survivors. That's not a lot of pressure for the Nurse yet. So still anybody's game. We will see the Nurse go away from the corrupt zone, possibly trying to pressure the gens that likely have survivors on them. And we see a gen pop very quickly there. Oh my goodness, looks like we have 2 survivors working on that just to push it out early. So we do see 1 gen pop and put a lot of pressure on the Nurse. We do see somebody going around, possibly trying to sneak around for the unhook, but Nurse is not fooled. Nurse going ahead and pressuring, couldn't see which survivor that was, but I think that might have been Megacy. All right, and then going back, trying to pressure this other gen. Nurse is kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place there, trying to pressure a survivor from getting the unhook, as well as that gen. We do see the unhook happen.
It does look like she's a little unsure of where to go from there.
Yeah, just being choosy with where to pressure, which is smart as a killer.
Oh, and you know why Nurse makes sense? Because she can teleport upstairs. Any upstairs map is good with Nurse.
That's true.
Nurse makes lots of sense.
Nurse does make a lot of sense for that reason indeed. We do see high surveillance avoiding the double blink. Rin going down again, unfortunately, which will result in another hook. But these survivors did get another gen off, so right now I would say I believe we have a survivor advantage here. We weren't able to see Rin reset, and I think that is what led to the down there a little bit. We are seeing these survivors perform very well early on, though. A lot of pressure around the map, and it looks like the survivors are split up on gens, which really makes it easy for these survivors to pressure the entire map while Nurse has to chase one survivor at a time. We do see another down, and we see Nurse leave the slug. So Nurse is definitely trying to get some slug pressure, knowing that the survivors are split up on other gens. This is extremely a really smart killer strategy, honestly, because you need to limit how many gens are being progressed at a time. And with one slugged and one hooked, and seeing now one in chase, that really does mean that we only have maximum one person on gen right now. And now we still have two slugs, which means one person on gen maximum. But if they go to pick up the person who's down, oh, they were on gen. So nobody's picking up the first slug, dead by cats. So this is a lot of pressure for killer now, where I was just talking about survivors being under a lot of, survivors putting a lot of pressure on the killer. We are seeing the opposite from these from the killer now. The killer has a lot of pressure on the survivors. We do see high surveillance possibly maybe have used an unbreakable, or maybe getting picked up by Megacy and then picking up dead cats, but we do see one death here with two gens left. Now
that was a quick turnaround snowball.
That was I'm
very curious if Jazzy's going to be able to keep up the snowball at this point.
Indeed, that was a really good recovery by UA. The coordination was definitely there. I am wondering, was that an unbreakable, or was Megacy actually going over there? I think it may have been an unbreakable, actually, because I think Megacy was staying on other gens, possibly. We do see Megacy in chase now, though. Our gen jockey may be in trouble here. We are going to possibly lose them here, though. I don't know if Jazzy knows where they went. I think they abandoned the shack completely and maybe went around the other side, as Jazzy is going to pressure possibly Thompson House, looks like here. These survivors are definitely doing quite well. We do see high surveillance has reset, and I wonder if we see Dead by Cats reset here in a minute. But that would definitely take a lot of the pressure off of the survivors at this point, only having two gens left. We do see Dead by Cats reset. Very smart play by the survivors. And ultimately, I kind of want to see Megacy also reset. But if not, I think that's still fine, as Megacy hasn't given up a hook yet, a hook state yet. And we do see a totem fall, and Nurse will be going to pressure that, not liking the fact the survivors have taken out her beloved totem.
It's looking like Jazzy's lost all his pressure here.
Indeed, I think there was a lot of time spent looking for a survivor. Oh my gosh, what kind of audio glitch was that? That was kind of menacing. Chat, that was kind of crazy. You didn't hear that? Oh wow.
No, I didn't hear it.
So it was as if the blink just like over reverbed. It was kind of ominous.
Oh, wonderful. Dead Hard.
Yeah, that Dead Hard was great. Oh my goodness. So we do see Dead by Cats. Oh, do we get caught on the double blink? We do not. Dead by Cats is doing a really good job of running Jazzy around as this Nurse. And we don't see high surveillance or anybody grouped up with Dead by Cats, knowing Dead by Cats did get reset, which did mean we were on another gen, and we see that gen pop, and we now have found our high surveillance being pressured. Oh man, so these survivors do need to get these exit gates powered, open, and it looks like we may have seen a pallet stun there. I wonder if high surveillance will go ahead and get hit here. We do see him go down. That is an insta down. We do see a no-ed up, as we can see with that haste effect. Oh my goodness, what a play here. And if you're Jazzy, do you worry about a possible deliverance play here?
Oh man, I think you go and try and get another down. You specifically go after Cats, I think, is what you look for.
Yeah,
but it doesn't look like he's gonna get it.
I don't think he's gonna get it. We are seeing the other exit gate get opened, and I think Jazzy is gonna just chill here and say, take your 2 out. I have done what I needed to do, and I'm gonna get a 2K here. I'm wondering, will we see them just escape, or are they going to stay here? Looks like they're resetting. Hopefully these survivors are yeah, just thinking about escaping.
Maybe they're looking for no-ed.
Yeah, I think they may have been. They did take the escape. I don't know about looking for no-ed with a nurse that could just blink to you.
Right there next to the hook.
Indeed, indeed.
If it was further away, it would have been a different story, but I don't think you get it done that close to the nurse.
No. Nurse was going ahead and protecting the totem as well as confirming that kill. And so, do my eyes deceive me? Do we see a tie game? Is that what happened here? It looks like I'm looking at a 12-12. Oh, nope, there it is. 14-12. Okay. I was gonna say, I was like, wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to ended in a tie. For whatever reason, Nurse is not on our scorecard, so and it won't. Trying to type it is yeah.
I see.
Yep. So 14-12 with a let's see, a 4-hook 2 progression performance.
That's definitely a solid performance. Talking about how we know that we have solid killers as well as solid survivors on both of these squads, that is a solid performance on both sides, keeping this match very close. And guys, if you didn't know, Prestige in their first match in the tournament won the match by 1 single point. So very close matches. Prestige is not worried being this close, as they're used to the close matchup.
Yeah, they played very comfortable in a very close match. I think their first trial in that one was tied as well, so and it came down to the 1 point. No, they had a dominant lead to start, and then it crept back. They crept back again, is what happened.
I see.
We're going to be switching lobbies now. Now, Undying Alliance is going to be killing, and they're going to kill twice.
Twice in a row?
So we will see. Yeah, we'll see Undying Alliance kill twice. Once on Thompson House, once on Gas Heaven, and then we'll see their survivors again in the last trial.
Okay. What would you expect to see from UA at this point? I think you have to keep pressure on. You have a 2-point lead, but you really want to expand that lead. Do you think that we see?
I'm thinking of lighter spirit. Something to close distance quickly. I mean, you got to go for, I don't know, at least an 8-hook 2K here, just to keep it close. If you were trying to keep it close, if you're trying to get that lead early, I mean, everything's on the table. Blight, Spirit, Nurse, I got all of it available.
That's true. I think that Blight isn't as strong on Thompson House personally, though, and I think if Blight was stronger on Thompson House, we would have in fact seen Jazzy use Blight. That's what I would have expected.
I mean, Jazzy could be holding Blight close to his chest for semifinals, though.
That's true. While that is true, we may also see it at Gas Heaven, because Gas Heaven's a better Blight map.
Yeah, because of all of that collision spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot better than a corn map. So that is where I don't think we'll see a blight this match just because of the map. I do think it is possible for us to see. I think we could see a returning nurse, but I don't know. A lot of teams don't want to return with what they just faced, you know?
Yeah, and
I think a spirit.
they would have been practicing against their nurse. So.
I think spirit is a worthwhile bet, but also, as I said before, high surveillance brought a really good. Oh yeah, my bad. Would be.
How you're supposed to know that.
Yeah. Let me see. All right, we've got Jazzy invited here. I think it would be really interesting to see High bring their Huntress again. Definitely, I've seen them bring Huntress versus Prestige, and they performed very well on Wrecker's Yard. I do realize Wrecker's Yard is a better Huntress map than the Corn map, but it'd be interesting if High can use the Corn to their advantage and get some of those hits, because while we are thinking about the Corn being a detriment to a Huntress, it's also kind of an advantage because the survivors can't see the hatchet coming, just like we can't see the survivor. High can't see the survivor. Well, it goes in reverse too, so it's more of a guessing game. It makes for some really exciting hatchet throws. But hatchets.
I like hatchets.
You like hatchets? I like hatchets until they're in the back of my head. Okay, like as a survivor main, I'm not a fan of hatchets. But as a shoutcaster, I love hatchets.
I recently had the luxury of facing the best Huntress I've ever seen, and she was like, well, we were on Coal Tower, and she was hitting you from the wall through the door while you're upstairs. It was nuts. It was absolutely insane. You were not safe anywhere from her hatchets.
And that is proof of somebody who knows the hitboxes well. And I will say, High definitely had proven to me they know the hitboxes very well, because when survivors are running, the hitbox lags a little bit behind, so you don't want to throw it like right on the survivor. Hitting a little bit behind him will still get the hit. So a lot of times we were seeing a survivor trying to squeeze by an obstacle and getting hit right at the edge. High was waiting for the committal to running around that obstacle, and it worked out super well. We were seeing a lot of downs from the Huntress, a lot of pressure from the Huntress going around objects, places where myself as Huntress, I wouldn't feel comfortable trying to make that throw, but for somebody who understands the hitboxes very well, oh yeah, you'll do it. And that carries over to Deathslinger. That carries over to Trickster. Knowing the hitboxes and how they behave for survivors is a really powerful tool for any of the range killers. And so knowing honestly, High has that knowledge, that's powerful.
I'm not a big fan of Deathslinger and Huntress for the sheer fact of they can hit around corners. And I'm like, I know I'm safe. And yet the game tells me I'm not. You know?
Yeah, I could understand that. It's kind of frustrating sometimes when you're like, I don't feel like I should have gotten hit by that. But behavior, yeah. Why?
It reminds me of old Freddy. Like, I know technically Freddy did get his lunge changed. It's still there, but I don't feel like it's nearly as threatening anymore as it used to be.
I still feel like Freddy is Stretch Armstrong. All right, like I mean, you guys remember the scene from
Shorty Pants with a trapper reach.
I mean, I feel like that lunge, like the fact that he moves so far for that swing. It's crazy. It's almost like that scene at the end of Space Jam where like Michael Jordan's like, I'm being held back, but let me go ahead and just, I got it. Like it's so, I just, every time I get hit by a Freddy and I'm like, you know, If you weren't Freddie,
wish,
you wouldn't have gotten that stretch
I
Armstrong.
wish Jordans would have switched to the long arm Jordan instead of the normal Jordan. You know what I mean? Same
Hmm.
pose, just long arm.
Mm-hmm.
You could turn it into a shoelace or something.
Oh my goodness. Long
That would
arm
probably be more
shoelaces.
tacky. Yeah, that probably
So
be
would
more
like
tacky.
the aglets for the
You can
for the
switch.
shoelaces just be like hands, like just Jordan's hands, like
One's a
creepy.
basketball with a hand around it, the other one's a hand.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I would never tie my shoes. Forget it. Never tie my
I
shoes.
already don't tie my shoes. So.
I mean, me neither. I wear laceless shoes. Keep the
I lace them
Skechers.
perfectly. I lace mine perfectly, so I never have to tie them again.
Well, you know, that doesn't that doesn't really work for me. I have large feet. So yeah, I can't slip my shoes back into
I wear a
it.
size 14 shoe.
Yeah, I got you beat, buddy. I wear 15, sometimes 16, depending on the shoe.
Oh my god, you wear a fat
Sorry, bud. It's just I can't fit my like large foot into the little hole once it's been tied.
Let's go ahead and see some rules real quick.
Indeed, I want to review the survivor scoring rules real quick. So let's go ahead and take a look. So these survivors are scoring by finishing gens. Of course, we always want to get those gens done. 1 point per for first and second gen, second and third gen, 2 points per, fourth and fifth gen, 3 points per. And then we are trying to escape, of course. So the escapes are worth points as well. Third and fourth escape being worth most points at 4 points and 6 points respectively. Survivors that escape only being hooked once or less also get an extra point there. And guys, we're gonna go right into this game here, and we are seeing a spirit. Oh man, love it. So we see two S-tier killers right off the bat in this match, showing how these teams are respecting each other. And we see Jazzy taking the early hit from the spirit being found in the corrupt zone early. We'll see, it looks like the chase is going to be taken still within the corrupt zone. So this is good for the survivors here. And it looked like Jazzy was kind of wary of the corn, trying to get towards the shack, because as we know, these the corn kind of is Spirit's domain. We do see Spirit go ahead and drop chase in that corrupt zone, looking to pressure these gens that are not in that corrupt zone. And we do see quite a bit of progress on this gen. We do see scratch marks as well. We see possibly protecting there, and then we do find a Claudette, so we are going to go ahead and pressure this Claudette. Do we see the pallet dropped here? Yes, we do, and a pallet stun. Love to see it from the survivor side. And honestly, I think Spirit is okay taking that pallet and take out that pallet early, especially knowing what's near it. Protect that gen. We are seeing the reset attempting to happen, and Spirit cutting off that reset, trying to force a pallet throw here, and does force the pallet throw, unfortunately on the wrong side of the pallet for them. And was interesting. Was that a Tinkerer that we just saw? I think it was, guys. We're seeing a Tinkerer Spirit. Oh, that is very spicy. Try to go ahead and take away your terror radius, and I think if you are using Tinkerer and you're within terror radius and then end up phasing, they don't even hear the whooshing. So that is a really smart move. Oh wow, we got the blind! Guys, the firecracker got the blind! That is crazy, amazing play from, I think that was from our Zarina. Oh my goodness. And then looks like we're trying to go to the pallet, possibly walk to the pallet. No, running back towards the corner. And our survivor is going to go all the way to the corner. We love corners around these parts. Go ahead and run as far away from any of those gens as possible. Give your teammates the best chance of finishing those gens as you can. Unfortunately, I do see a survivor just kind of chilling over here next to where this hook is, and so does High Surveillance. They see the same thing I do, and we are going to see another down here. I think if that other survivor had instead been on gen, we may have seen a little bit more pressure from the survivors, but that's all right. Sorry, choked on my own spit. I think it's okay depending on what perk you have. If that's a deliverance trade, then fine. No real hook pressure for high. But otherwise, I don't really like the play. We are seeing another corner run, and it doesn't look like that was a deliverance. They got unhooked, so that did require another person to come off a gen. So you do know at that very moment there was only one person on gen, 3 people running around or on hook. So I mean, as a killer, you're gonna take that all day, especially depending on I believe we do have Ruin up because we were seeing regressing gens, and we haven't seen Spirit kick a gen. So as Ruin is up, I do think that High is not worried about like the survivors being off gen. More survivors off gen, the better, in High's opinion. We did see a survivor over here, but we kind of lost him. I have no idea where they went either. Through that phase, they definitely stayed away from the corn, and we weren't able to track where they went. There they were. I saw them for a second. I don't know if High saw them, though. They were running right back towards those structures. High's going to go ahead and kind of camp this hook a little bit, try to see if we can pressure the gens nearby. And we do see another gen pop. We have found Jazzy, though, in the shack again. And are possibly faking a phase here. Oh. Oh, and what a phase! What a phase! And wow. Down! That was a perfect little mind game to fake the phase, allow Jazzy to run long side around shack, cut off with the phase, and get the down. Amazing high IQ play by High Surveillance. My goodness.
Living up to his name.
Indeed, indeed. All right, and so we do see these survivors are still in great position, honestly. We have 4 hook states right now, nobody dead, and only 2 gens left. If you're the Spirit, you are kind of feeling that pressure a little bit right now. And we do see Jazzy get unhooked, so we do know that 2 people were off of those gens once again. So only 2 gens can be progressed right now. We do see Prusian get hit here, going ahead and taking a hit, taking chase towards a finish gen. Really high IQ survivor play. Love to see it. And do we see the cutoff? Oh, barely missed it for High. Unfortunate, but it's okay. We get it anyway. All right, so another down here and another hook state. Honestly, these are a lot of scoring events as well for UA, and having the advantage already, you're kind of feeling good about where you're at for this killer match. If you are Spirit, you do still want to probably get a couple kills, secure some kills here, but you are getting a good amount of hook states. We are seeing a full reset from the other team, though. So for Prestige, you're feeling good on Survivor side about trying to keep this not only close, but possibly take the lead for yourself after this match. And we do see a totem fall. I don't know what totem it was. It did look like we still saw a regressing gen over there, so I don't believe that was Ruin, but wonder what totem that was. And we do see Zarina take a hit here, so we do have 2 injured survivors, giving Spirit a couple different ways to play it. Oh, and do we know where the Zarina is? We get the down on Zarina! Guys, these phases are perfect right now for High Surveillance. He is kicking it into high gear and getting these downs just like needed. We are seeing another Tinkerer proc, and so I expect to see, yeah, these survivors have already left. They've already called Tinkerer. The communication is there, so they know as soon as, oh, was that another totem falling? It was. Top floor of Thompson House. We could see it in the corner. All right, so we are seeing, we know we have survivors in Shack. We know we have survivors in Thompson House. We know we have quite a bit of progress on that gen in the middle, and it looks like that gen was no longer regressing, which meant that Ruin is finally out of play. So for these survivors, they are now feeling good about being able to pressure, and we know that there are no 3 gens already right now. Seeing that Tinkerer, I think you give up the Thompson house, because there's no way you get up there at this point, which means these gens are going to be extremely spread out. Gonna have to protect that center gen where it already has a fair amount of progress, unless we possibly have a Noed here, but I don't think we can. We saw 2 totems fall, and then we saw a corrupt, and we've seen Tinkerer, so I think we know the killer's build at this point, as do the survivors. So I don't think we will see a Noed here. So this this spirit really is wanting to get as many kills as possible right now, and I can't remember, I think that's Claudette's first hook, and yes it is. So we are seeing the Tinkerer in the center, we are seeing the survivors go ahead and leave as quickly as possible, and there's our deli. Claudette had our deli, so no hook pressure there, so our survivors are able to stay on other gens. And we do see the Tinkerer proc here, we do see Jazzy take a hit. So smart play by Spirit to not leave that gen that you know the survivors are pressuring. And we see a possible fake phase here. And oh, a little bit of a miss there. Go ahead, break this really powerful pallet. That is a good play. Keep that loop ability less. We did see the corn moving, and High saw it as well, and that's why we see him going back to that gen, knowing somebody's getting close. Hear a little bit of whimpering possibly behind us. High hears it too. Guys, this is a really good killer play. You can tell they are really observant to everything. The phase was perfect there, getting the down on Jazzy. I think that will be Jazzy's second hook, if I'm not mistaken. But we may give up this gen here in center. Actually, I think we definitely have enough time to pressure that, especially hooking right there. Now we have no reason to leave this gen. If they finish one of the outside gens, that's fine. And with as many hook states as UA got, sitting here and confirming the kill actually probably is the right move, because you guarantee it won't be a tie for this trial. And knowing you already had the lead, that I believe would be the right move. Go ahead and secure the kill. Allow them to get another gen to pop, that's fine if they get the escapes, but you want to secure this kill, and I think this trade secures that kill. Unfortunately, it does indeed secure the kill, and so now this Spirit is in 4K territory, possibly, if they can get all the hits that they need. And as we're seeing here, that was a second hook state before for Jazzy, so we know this is a death hook. And so we only have possibly a 1 escape. This is a 3K right here. And like we said, the other gen hasn't popped yet. So unless the hatch play is in our future, this is 4K territory. So we have gone from High surveillance, possibly having 2 survivors get out, to that trade kind of confirming a 4K, and High finding the hatch. This is serious 4K territory with as close as these exit gates are. High can sit on this side of the Thompson house where he's going and see perfect eyesight for both gates. This is definite 4K territory. This is disaster for our survivors in this case. Puts a lot of pressure on them for the next set of trials.
Boy, High really came and showed, like, UA's here. UA is one of the top teams for sure.
Indeed. Yeah, I'm definitely impressed with how High was able to keep the pressure on in the mid to late game there, and really,
God, look at this perfect spot.
Oh yeah, that's honestly the problem with Thompson House. Thompson House is usually this way, unfortunately. Those doors, it seems like 9 times out of 10 they spawn in this fashion, and you just have perfect eyesight from anywhere. And we did see the head nods from High surveillance going, yes, that's right, you're not getting out, you will die to my endgame collapse. And Rambo, correct me if I'm wrong, endgame collapse still results in points because it's not a bleed out.
It's the same point either way.
So
the only way they get less, the only way High gets less points here is with the escape. That's it. It's 4 points. It's a 4-point play either way.
Wow. So this is definitely the best spot And I think we are gonna see. I wonder where is Zenny accepting defeat in the corner. We love corners.
Crow on head.
Crow on head. Get a little bit of circle there. Accepting our place to the ground spider. The ground spider will love your soul. What a spectator bug there. Did you see that? Like, just invisible floating Claudette for a moment there. But ground spider will definitely take your contribution.
Wow, what a showing from UA. What a showing from UA. And not to say Prestige did wonderful in Survivor, but you know, that spirit was just
indeed nasty. Indeed, the pressure was on. And I think those trades that we talked about, we said, how do we feel about the trades? And it didn't end up being a deli trade. I feel like that is giving up hook states that you really don't want to give up. I mean, I had called it out in the shoutcasting. We saw lots of survivors off of gens, and Ruin was still up. That is a lot of pressure for a spirit. Spirit will take that all day. If you know that gens are regressing, and those survivors aren't able to pressure them the way that they would want to, that's really advantageous for our killer and puts a lot of pressure on the survivors. And early game, I feel like the survivors had the pressure. The gens were popping off. We only had 3 or 4 hook states when the gens were popping off, and we got down to 3 gens or 2 gens. But then that's where I was able to cause a little bit of a snowball, having the survivors off of gen and running around while Ruin was up.
Yeah, that was just a wonderful showing. Why did the lobby die? They gotta play it again.
I know. I'm waiting on an invite. It said the game you are attempting to join is not joinable anymore. Hi, did your game crash again?
Maybe
I hope not. Oh, that's true too. That's true too. And hey, if you're UA at this point, are you keeping pressure on bringing another S tier, or are you going ahead and
I think you kind of have to in trial 3.
You think so?
Yeah, I think you kind of have to in trial 3, because I mean, theoretically they can 4 out you here and bring the game right back to close again, you know?
True. I'm actually gonna disagree with you here, though. I think that we see maybe an A tier or a B tier killer. I don't think we go down to a C tier or anything. I think you definitely do keep pressure on, but you don't necessarily bring out the S tier. You save that for semifinals or finals, knowing the lead you have here. Because even if you end the trial in a tie, you have a strong enough lead. I mean, we're seeing 43-18 right now. So you have a strong enough lead that you're wanting to get the hook states, but if they 3 out you, you're not necessarily feeling 100% of the pressure back on your survivors.
Ah, yes, they're changing killers.
So I should be expecting a friend request or something probably here soon, right?
Or at least a hi if you can invite him into your lobby. Oh, well, no. If you can hop in the lobby with your killer and then invite us in.
Indeed.
Probably be quick that way.
Indeed. I am down with that for sure. And Jazzy hopped into my lobby, it would seem, but Jazzy, I'm not in the correct lobby, so I'm gonna have to leave you here soon. I'm sorry.
He just wants to be close to you. Damn.
Yeah, I understand. A lot of people want to be close to me, and you know, I do love warm hugs. So I'm a hugger. I'm fine being close to other people, but I'm gonna have to leave you for a little bit. I'm sorry. Oh shoot, yeah. You know, like
now I'm like elbow bumps, and even that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, COVID has definitely, it's affected people differently, right? So for sure, I think
I'm hearing from Dr. Callie 6 that she can't hear me over the music, so maybe bring my mic up a little bit.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do so. All right, I'm gonna bring you up a whole step, my friend. Go ahead and speak for me. Mic check.
Hey, audience, let me know if this is a little better. Can you hear me better?
Loud enough for me, I see in the chat. So I like that. I think you're looking at the levels. Your mic now might be a little bit louder than mine, but that is okay with me.
Yeah, it's always hard finding that balance.
I know, right?
Gen Mixer says loud enough for me.
Chef
Guess we'll find out
DVD wants
shortly.
Jane. Oh my goodness. Bring demo. Wait, are we seeing that chat wants a demo in here? And it does look like High is actually going to be our killer again.
Oh. Well, in that case, I guess there's a little uncertainty as to what to do next because you know, you want to keep the pressure, but also do you really need to bring something worth burning, you know?
Yeah, indeed. And knowing how High can put a lot of pressure on a map, and I've seen High play a lot of different killers and be able to put pressure no matter what killer they play. They've got a really good arsenal to
Let's go
choose
up one
from.
more step.
What? One more step?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. All right, go ahead and speak for me.
Talking and
Yeah,
speaking and stuff.
talking and speaking, and we love it. I like
Now that I've had my coffee, I'm a little more awake. It took 2 matches for me to get here, but I'm here now.
Guys.
The guy that was here earlier, that was not me. That was some other imposter. That guy was sus. I'm here now.
What's hilarious too is like I had been talking this morning to Rambo, and Rambo was like, "Oh, Vader, your voice is so much lower," and I'm like, "Yeah, because it's early in the morning, and you get morning voice, Vader. That's what you get. That's what you get right now." It was 11 a.m. for me, which on a Sunday, I'm never up by 11, guys. There's a reason that on my own channel I start my streams at like 2 p.m. because I'm not an early riser, but. We did it today. We were able to handle it. But I did have some serious morning voice up first thing in the morning.
Well, and those matches last night got me pumped. So going to bed afterwards was next to impossible. So I was still up at like 4 a.m.
Yup, indeed. And what map are we on this match?
Gas Heaven.
Gas Heaven. Guys.
Is it Heaven or Haven? Haven is the realm. Heaven is the map, right?
Correct.
I always get those mixed up.
And so I think that they have the map set. I wasn't able to see it earlier. But I will trust they have map set to Gas Heaven. All right, and I will go ahead and stay in this killer spot. Everybody look at my bleat. I really love this blight skin. I mean, shout out to Behavior for all of the skins they have on all their various killers. I've got a lot of skins that end up just being.
I still think my
choice.
favorite is Ninja Turtle Oni, just because I'm a huge Ninja Turtles fan.
Ninja Turtle Oni? I don't know that I know of that one, actually. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, it's like Ninja Turtles 3 Oni, but it's still Ninja Turtles Oni. Yeah, I mean it's one basic set. Is you don't have to like switch and add anything. It just, and I think I might be the only one who calls them Ninja Turtle Oni. But,
yeah, I'm gonna need you to show me Ninja Turtle Oni, because now that I've heard this name, I want Ninja Turtle Oni. All right, so yeah, after this match,
you can switch out a killer, and I'm gonna Google Oni skins and send it to you.
Oh, I love it, chat. I'm waiting for it. Oh man. All right, so we're going ahead and we're getting in spectator role here. Let these survivors and killer know they are good to go. And we're gonna see some interesting Gas Heaven. All right. And guys, this is gonna be super exciting. I expect to see from High Surveillance, I think we could see a Huntress, and I think a Huntress would be pretty good to see, honestly. I think it's a strong map for her. And
There
Yeah.
you go. I just sent it to you. It's the one on the
Oh.
right.
Oh man. All right. I'm gonna take a look at that. And while I look at that skin, who do you expect to see from high surveillance this round? Actually, I'm gonna go over some
I'm
penalty
honestly thinking
rules
like a
as well.
trapper. I'm honestly thinking like a trapper or some shit.
Trapper? Okay.
Yeah, I think you might go C tier, D tier, F tier.
Yeah, I could see that. But I think we'll see maybe a huntress. Guys, let's go ahead and review these penalty rules. All right, so guys, for our penalties, our matches will still be played out or possibly restarted, but 2 of the same survivor will be -5 points. Banned items are -5 points. Harassing ref is -10 points. Using exhausted killer, -10 points. Using players not on roster, -10 points. And yeah, we gotta penalize if people aren't following the rules, you know. All right, guys, so we're going right into match here, and we're seeing a twins. Oh, how do you feel about twins on Gas Heaven?
Well, there's a lot of those doorways to block and areas that are easy to block, so I like it, but also twins is pretty strong. It's like that cusp between A and S tier, so
yeah, I agree. It definitely shows that UA respects prestige here, because you don't want to really take the chance for prestige to be able to come back. And Victor's blocking the pallet. You can't break it from that side now. All right, and we do see switching right back to Victor, continuing this chase. This chase is not in corrupt zone, so this is actually perfect for high. Ooh, did you see? That was perfect for Victor, being able to go ahead and get that hit before they were able to hop in a locker. And so we already have 1 slugged, and we're looking to possibly incapacitate another, missing the pounce there, but that's okay. We can come right back to it. Incapacitated. Now we'll probably see the first hook on Skelexton. I hope I said that right. All right, so gonna go ahead and see high. Yes, indeed, get that hook. And we did see another survivor running around near Skelexton. So again, having multiple survivors off of gens, because we know that Xenix can't touch a gen right now, and it's unknown whether Ruin is still up. But if Ruin is up, then that's that could. Oh, well. We do see a totem fall. That's a second totem to fall. So if the survivors have pressured that out, they have a lot of pressure on high surveillance at this point. We do see that Victor is running around here, but without being able to directly find a survivor. Oh, we do find a survivor, but we find 2 healthy survivors, which is not as good for Victor. We were not able to get them before the reset happened. So for sure, if Skelexton can get reset here as well, there's a lot of pressure. And we do see Jazzy running with Skelexton, and versus twins, you do kind of want to group up like this. So if somebody does go down, oh, that's a smart play. Hop in the locker and have Jazzy go ahead and protect. Oh man, and we are seeing Killer Instinct though, giving away the position of Skelexton. Skelexton running the tile though, and getting hit through that window anyway. Going to go ahead and take a second hook state here, which is really good for high surveillance at this point. And we do have an injured Jazzy, hoping Jazzy gets healed. Otherwise, this may be good pressure for our twins. All right, so we see twins going towards the center of the map, dropping Victor, and going to go ahead and run around. Did we see a survivor right there? Maybe, but High may not have seen them. Going ahead and running. Oh, we found somebody on a gen. We found Jazzy on a gen. Oh, but we missed our pounce there. Jazzy's still trying to pressure that gen. We hit our pounce this time. So we are going to go ahead, and we're still near this other hook, and they're not saving Skellington. How do you feel about that play, Rambo? Not saving Skellington with Charlotte there and Victor chasing.
I mean, it minimizes damage. It saves the trades that they were doing last time, which we know really hurt them. So I think I like it.
It also allows them to possibly be pressuring those other gens. We don't know if they were or weren't.
Right.
But
oh, they clearly were. Yeah,
we're seeing gens pop. Chat. That is actually really good for these survivors. And did we see Shack Pallet is still down? So, but is that Bamboozle? We do see Bamboozle. So taking Shack kind of completely out of play. Awesome build by High Surveillance there to kind of remove Shack as an option to run. And we do see Victor running around trying to find this arena. We do see some blood pools here. We may have found her. I don't know if High noticed the blood pools, though, because High's pressuring something else, not chasing the injured survivor. Going ahead, locking this locker. Down. Yeah, 4 gens down indeed. And look at the Victor value here. We're getting Killer Instinct on the Zarina from Victor blocking that locker. And we are going to see High Surveillance is looking to go ahead and remove Zarina from the game completely. Oh, look at the mind game. I think we get this hit. Yes, there is no way to jump that and not get hit by Charlotte there. Amazing play by High Surveillance to go ahead and mind game that tile. All right, so we are going to see the hook taking Skellington out of the game, but here's the awesome part for Skellington. Keeping the chase next to a finished gen really allows these survivors to keep pressuring those other gens, and as we hear Gas Heaven is almost finished, they may pressure it out before Charlotte can get there, and they are attempting to, and we do see the grab tech there. I think they will finish this. Maybe not actually now. Both of them are injured, so they are not going to commit to it. We are going to see the dry kick here. Oh, and we are going to see possibly, look at the Dead Hard get baited out by High Surveillance. High Surveillance was expecting and looking for it. We are going to see a hook possibly right next to Gas Heaven here and pressure this gen that is almost done. We are seeing somebody missed a skill check possibly on another one, or missed a skill check possibly on a heal, but there's no reason to leave this. You can again just secure your kill and put the pressure on these survivors. I think with a 2k here, with the amount of hooks that High has, it will still result in the survivors gaining some ground. However, it's not a not catching up as much as the survivors would like. And we are seeing Jazzy trying to bait out a hit, and I believe that High will just let this person go to second. Jazzy's not gonna get it. Oh man,
this is so intense, especially because you know that Jin's regressing over there.
It is,
and that Jin needs to pop for this to be good.
It hasn't been touched in a while, and so as the survivors, you know, Claudette's injured too, so that's danger for our Claudette. If Jazzy takes a hit and ends up going down here, or worse, being grabbed, this is again 4K territory. This is not what you want to see from the survivors. I think you go ahead and you take chase away and let Claudette come and try to get save if you're the survivors, because High Surveillance is not going to let you
and worry about it, you know, in in game.
And they do finish the gen as you're asking for here, but again, Jazzy is not going to get this. Jazzy has to take the hit there, yes, but now you're in trade territory, and with where you're at for endgame, I don't know. You have 2 injured survivors now and a Victor who can slug. This is dangerous versus a Twins. I think the play. Oh, we already have an open gate. Oh, okay. So maybe Jazzy was planning on going down the entire time. This was all just a play to get the gate open and confirm a 2 out. I think I want to check the builds at the end, but if Claudette had Deliverance as she did in the first trial, you want Claudette going and trying to get the unhook. You want to reset Claudette and have Claudette do that instead. Let's go ahead and look, and we do see the Claudette did have Deliverance, so I would have wanted to see Claudette heal and Claudette do Jazzy's role there of the grab tech. The reason I say that is because then if you get hooked, there is a Deliverance as Victor is trying to pressure the survivors that are trying to escape. But overall, GG's all. That was a very good match on both sides. And our resulting score is UA 58, Prestige 31. So definitely still in it for Prestige. They kept themselves in the game, but they have to have nearly a perfect game as Killer.
Game. Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because a perfect game for Killer, as we reviewed with the Killer rules, is 30 points. So having 30 points available, if you score 30, you win 61 to 58, depending on how many gens get done. But I guess that's the other thing. You can still have a perfect game, and if these survivors get gens done, you still can come out with the loss. That's a lot of pressure on this Killer. And it does look like our Killer will be Jazzy.
I think 3 gens is what closes it out.
Is it 3? Let's see. First and second gen are 2 points each. Third gen is 2 points. So 3 gens, yes, does lock it out. If the survivors manage to finish 3 gens, that's all they need to secure a win. That's definitely some dominant performance on Killer in order to put these survivors in the best position for success. Jazzy can still come out with a 4K and get the win. Now, what I will say is, having faced Jazzy's Blight, if Jazzy brings Blight here, I have seen them get a 4K at 5 gens before with their Blight. Now, UA has some really strong survivors, so I think it'll be tough to do, but we did see Jazzy get the 2K with Nurse earlier, and I definitely know they are more comfortable with Blight than they are with Nurse. So I would expect to see a stronger showing from Killer this round. So this is really exciting and could come right down to the wire, chat. We're gonna have to watch this one closely. I am inviting High Surveillance to the lobby now. And Rambo, do you think that we'll see Jazzy's Blight on Gas Heaven, or what are you expecting to see?
I think we're gonna see whatever Jazzy needs for a 10-11 hook performance. So
yeah, and that is true. That's a good point. We can't have a 12 progression performance. That's not going to help us. We need a 12 hook performance. We can't allow people to progress. So that is another counter for our survivors. Allow progressions and you lower the points available to the Killer. I didn't even think of that, but that is a good point to bring up.
We used to have a problem with point starving. And actually, the teams are talking to me now about how to point starve. And the thing we figured out was if the team starts to kill themselves on hook and we start adding modifiers as a result of that type of gameplay, we can get close to the same Killer max points. So the Killer has 28 points available if they start killing themselves on hooks, versus the 30 possible points they have available for a 4-hook game. But this is only if we're seeing 8 progressions. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's still strategies that has to be had here. You know, they got to get 3 gens done. Too many progressions, and they're just going to give them that massive comeback anyway. Like, things have to take place.
And I think what I'm referring to for sure is allowing the progression from even just first to second. Like, pressure out the gens, finish as many gens as possible, let your friends go to second on hook because it denies the killer another point. It could be a play, but then again, that is risky because if you let them go to second and Jazzy does decide to tunnel out, then you are limiting how many.
When you also have the
survivors
4-man slug before the gens get done. I think that's probably the win here, is a 4-man slug with all 4 people getting hooked. Is probably how you win this trial here. I think that's the Hail Mary play, if you will.
Yeah, I agree, and we are seeing a little bit of talk in the pregame chat by the players. Jazzy going, please don't tell me you're good at point starve, and Megacy saying, nah, we're not point starving, we wouldn't do that. The goal is 3 gens, so we should see an exciting match. Appreciate both teams trying to do those, trying to get those, get the good plays on here and put on a show for us. I mean, chat, really, this is a show for us, right? Like, they are competing, but we just get to sit back and enjoy. It's stress-free for us. These players get to kind of sweat and worry about, oh man, this decides the whole marbles. If Jazzy comes out and dominates, that's a win for prestige. If UA can come out and finish 3 or 4 gens, I think even with progressions, if they finish all of the gens, game over, even if it is a 4K. So the goal should be finish all the gens, and that's why I was saying, hey, if you let them go to second on that hook, I think that's fine. Gens before friends, am I right? We'll see.
Pretty much, yeah.
We'll see. And it does look like everybody's ready. Are we ready to hop out of the killer role here?
Yes, we are ready. I literally just got word as you were asking.
Nice. All right. Oh, not Survivor. I'm not surviving. I don't want to face Jazzy right now. Nah. So, all right, we are in our spectator role. I'm going to go ahead and let them know they are good to go. And let's be ready for an amazing match. And do we want to go ahead and review the other games that will be happening around the league? I'll go ahead and bring up the tournament bracket as well as the past games that have happened, and let's go ahead and review what we have in store for the rest of the day.
I think working out right now the Demise Monarchy game. It might be Tuesday. It might be coming in 50 minutes. We're still. It's going to come down to the wire.
Oh, geez, 50 minutes. Oh.
Yeah.
I definitely hope if it's happening in 50 minutes, let's figure that out as soon as possible so I can prepare. I gotta get my woo-saw, like Zen ready.
No, absolutely. The pressure is on there. And then at 5 o'clock, we for sure have Arctic Wolves versus Metro, which we know Wispy coming off of that 12-hook 4K with her nurse. It's going to be pretty spicy indeed.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for all the matches we have coming up, and then we may have Monday and Tuesday games as well, which will be exciting. So chat, definitely keep it here.
For sure are going to have a Monday game between 6 and Deadheads at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Nice. So guys, a lot of games coming up. Keep it here. Vigo's Court is getting exciting. We're ramping up as many things as we can right now as a team. So yeah, keep it here. It's going to be exciting all season, especially when the season does start up. These qualifier tourneys are just a sneak peek of what we got in store for you. And the game is starting, so I'm going to go ahead and take us into the game here. And oh buddy, we get to see the Jazzy Blight. Rambo, you said you haven't seen Jazzy play Blight. Well, here is your first little sneak peek. Not really a sneak peek, but yeah. Oh, exciting things. So we already did find a survivor here, getting an early hit on Dead by Cats. Unlucky that we just happened to come around that corner as Jazzy turned back around. All right, and so Jazzy is trying to pressure. Where did Dead by Cats go? I think even Jazzy may have lost him. Indeed, Dead by Cats was able to sneak around. Oh,
Not a
man.
good start when you're needing that that 10 to 12 hook 4K.
Yeah, you're wanting that early pressure for sure. We
You
do
have to
see
win that first
Jazzy going to look at damaging another survivor here. And ooh, so that little hug around and being able to get those flicks, that is what makes Jazzy dangerous. Jazzy knows how to hug tech well, and things that you don't normally think that Blight would be able to hit around, Blight is able to hit around with Jazzy's play.
I'm very confused why he stopped chase with the ace.
I was as well, but finding the ace again, I think it was more of lost ace a little bit, and we are seeing a blind
we saw him go
here.
to the right and Jazzy went left, so I don't know if Jazzy just didn't see him and we did or what.
Maybe it could either be that or it may be a missed prediction, like I'm gonna try to cut him off on this side and ends up not doing anything of the sort. Look at that like turn radius though during swing. Jazzy's flicks are pretty insane. A normal Blight, I wouldn't expect to be able to hit that for sure, just like this. So we do see Dead by Cats going down first, but Dead by Cats doing a really good job of not going down early, and we already have a single gen done, and we are seeing the slug play possibly coming out,
which is what we know he needs to do here. He kind of needs to force a 7th and 8th progression. So
yeah, indeed.
I mean, or just crack all the way out and get 12 hooks. You have no choice to do one or the other though. You can't get I think a little bit of one or the other. You gotta commit to one of the strategies.
Yeah, getting 28 points though, if you got 28 points right here because of those progressions, you would only tie. If they finish another gen, that locks out
I mean, that forces sudden death.
It would force sudden death, but I'm saying if the survivors can finish another gen, that pushes them to 60 points. In that case, 28 points is not going to get you the tie, and will in essence force the
win.
It'll force the needed 30-point total, 12 progression or 12 hooks. Not progressions, and I don't know that we're gonna get that. I think we're in fact gonna see Dead by Cats progress. It doesn't appear that they are going for the save immediately. They are going to go ahead and keep progressing these gens. Well, actually, I'm seeing scratch marks far off. I think we may have multiple survivors off of the gens, and there's the save while still in first state. So these survivors...
Jazzy's in a 12-hook scenario. He's got to get 12 hooks and prevent the last 2 gens from getting done. And I think that forces a tie as well? Question mark?
It would force a tie if they finish 3 gens. Right now we do see Tinkerer go off, and because of what we were just talking about, that forces the pressure. You have to pressure that because every gen counts. And it
I love down to the wire comeback games. Don't call it a comeback, but if they pull off the comeback, I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna get up and dance.
Indeed. Jazzy is trying their best to try to get this to be a comeback victory. And do we see it down here? Oh, the Dead Hard actually does have enough immunity frames for us to not get hit by that. Attempted blind not passed. Oh, so we will see a hook right here in the center of the map, which is powerful for Blight, but we do see a second gen pop off. So this is still really good for the survivors. Oh, missed collision. I hate when that happens to Blight, where you just slide off of something and you should have gotten collision, but behavior says, nah, not today, Blight. I know that you wanted it, but not today. Look at that. Look at the corners that are taken. Guys, this is really exciting Blight play. You guys are in for a treat. Oh, a missed swing. Nice prediction, just not able to get the down there. And we do see Tinkerer pop off, and it looks like it is on this center gen here, possibly. And forced to pressure it, like we said. And it looks like we found possibly 2 survivors there, maybe just 1 survivor, but have to go ahead and dry kick this. And we do see maybe a camaraderie play by the survivors. Dead by Cats has not had their timer move for a long time. So the entire time they were on that gen, the camaraderie play actually kind of came in clutch there, because the timer's not progressing and they were able to get the save after Tinker had to be pressured, and after procking Tinker on another gen. These are really high IQ plays by UA, proving why they are a strong survivor team.
Boy, Jazzy's going down swinging, man. This reminds me of a good I don't know how many MMA fans we got in the crowd, but this reminds me of Forrest Griffin, Stephen Bonner. That very first Forrest Griffin, Stephen Bonner fight.
Indeed, and we do see the pallet broken up here. The pallet definitely was a problem. There's the third gen. We can't let a single other gen pop. 3 gens forces the, or actually no, that third gen clenches it, because 2 gens force the tie, 3 gens forces.
No, but that's in the progression scenario. If he still gets a 12-hook game here.
That's true.
I don't see that. I don't really see that happening, but the 12-hook game would still, I think, tie it.
Whoa.
I could be wrong.
No, they were at 31 points. They were at 31 points before this match started, with a max point total of 30. 61 was the max that Prestige could score. So the 3 gens actually does clinch the win.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we will see UA convicted of murder in this case, but this is still like, let's keep watching, because Jazzy is still going down swinging, as we said, trying to make sure get the 4K and be redeeming here. I honestly I'm excited to see these teams match up in the future as well, with as exciting as this matchup has been.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be an interesting season. These 8 teams we have in the A-League are all so good. They're all so good.
Yeah, and I think I don't think it's too early to say, but rivalry? Can we make this a rivalry status? I
mean, it's already rivalry. They'll be in the same division, so.
Oh, indeed. So, guys, this is definitely a matchup to watch in the future. Really exciting from both of these teams. And we do see that Rin is still on hook here. Possibly somebody coming for unhook now. And yes, Jazzy called the same thing we were thinking. Possibly that somebody would come for save. Jazzy is going to go ahead and looks like try to tunnel Rin out here. Are we going to see Rin and I have some rapport? Rin loves corners, and I love it when Rin loves corners. Is Rin going to run to the corner for me? We may not see, because it looks like Jazzy is not going to give Rin the rest of that chase. Oh, we see a double collision. I don't think that was supposed to happen to Blight there. Dead by Cats is going to get taken out of the game here, though, and Rin is going to reset. Love to see it from the survivor side. So pressure is still on the Blight. These survivors could still finish all these gens and force a 2 out, possibly a 3 out. Oh, that locker timing. Guys, that is probably the best thing to do in that scenario, that rather than trying to go one way or the other against a Jazzy. And the double Tinkerer guarantees you are finishing one of these 2 gens. This is great play from these survivors.
He loses one of these gens.
One of these gens guaranteed is a loss, in my opinion. But if I'm wrong, if he's able to pressure both of these out, then hey, more power to Jazzy. That just shows the killer strength that he has. He's not pressuring that other gen up there, and if I'm right, the timing of 8 seconds if a survivor is on it the entire time, I don't think they're going to be able to pressure it before it pops. And as we do see here, it does pop. And we do see pressuring another gen that probably has Tinkerer on it, and we're chasing a Megacy here. Megacy, though, using our sprint burst and piecing out. Do you see the Tinkerer play there? And we're not going to be pressuring that Tinkerer. So Possibly just seeding that gen and trying to get more hook states and possibly trying to make a snowball in endgame. But I think with the survivors knowing they have the win, I don't know that they will snowball. I think they are easy and level-headed at this point.
Oh, I thought he had that down.
Yeah, high surveillance smart not to take the pallet, as they also probably know that Jazzy can make those flicks. Those are tough to
wow.
Yeah. The flicks that Jazzy makes are insane. I don't know another Blight player that that can make some of the flicks that I've seen from Jazzy in the past, as well as here. And so, oh, do we see? Oh, nice double back by the survivors. Oh, this is really just the eye of a perfect storm here. Oh, nice job zoning by Jazzy. That is something that you want to see from your killers there. And going and pressuring this door up here. Nice play from the Blight. It does look like they took the window. Oh my goodness! That is a down on
really
Rin.
thought he was...
No way! I thought he was inside. Those scratch marks had me tricked.
Yeah.
We do see high. We're seeing a 3-man slug, and Jazzy is going ahead and letting us know, hey, I may have the loss, but we are going to go ahead and get the 4K and make it as close as we can. No escapes for UA here, and going to see, expecting the deli play from high surveillance looks like is Jazzy. Jazzy may just camp to second hook here. We are seeing the head nods from the Blight. Blight is saying, do it, do it. Doing his best impression of Emperor Palpatine here. Do it. Wanting him to jump off the hook. A little bit of swinging on the hook. Say, do it. I want you to. I want to see you go to second hook. Look into my eyes as you attempt your deli. I want to down you again. I don't think he's going to get it, though. I think High is fine just going ahead, giving his survivors the best chance of crawling and getting the bleed out to deny the points. This is a good strategy. Go ahead and go to second hook, but allow Rin and allow Megacy to crawl to the corners or crawl somewhere where they won't be found by our killer here. And we see that Jazzy is looking to go get Megacy first. And did we find him already?
Yeah, I heard her.
I heard her as well. We did find Megacy. So Megacy will get hooked, but we'll see if Rin gets hooked. All right, and so we are running back this way. We'll see, did Rin run towards the center of the map, or did Rin go ahead and try to go to their favorite corner? Rin didn't go to the favorite corner. Nope. So, if we're not able to find Rin, then... Oh, did I hear Rin? Thought I did, but I don't think Jazzy did. We may see a bleed out, though. Oh, we hear Rin, other side of the cars, and Jazzy hears them as well. And so we will see, no bleed out here, we will see a 12 progression 4K, and that will bring it in close, but UA did secure the win.
67-57.
That's after all points added at 67-57 final score.
Yep. Prestige won that trial 26-9.
Wow. So guys,
the
that
UA wins the match.
That is crazy. We do see the 4K. We do see UA win that trial, but because of the performance, or we see Prestige win that trial, but because of the performance from UA in their two killer matches, that is a UA win. UA is convicted of murder. Exciting to see though, guys. That was those were a blast to watch. And as I'm seeing in chat, everybody talking about like GG's. That was spicy. That was amazing. That was great. Jazzy, good job on Killer that round. And like, good job to Prestige. Good job to UA. Really,
That was all around GG's.
GG's indeed. And guys, so we will be back tonight with our 7 p.m. or wait, 5 p.m. game, 5 p.m. Eastern, right?
5 p.m. Eastern. Yep.
Do we have any confirmation if we're having that
We're not gonna have a 3.
not gonna have a 3 o'clock game? All right, that gives me a chance to eat, chat. I get to go eat food. All right, so we will go ahead and nominate to adjourn the court, and we will go ahead and say the court is adjourned.
Oh, actually,
Well, maybe not. I take it back.
I kind of want to do post-game interviews.
You want to do a post-game interview?
This round.
Oh, yeah,
These
for sure.
rounds,
Let's
yeah.
do it. Let's do it. Sorry, I jumped the gun, everybody. I jumped the gun. While we are trying to get the post-game interview set up, can chat be thinking of possibly who we want to raid, and if you have the points for it, if somebody wants to lead the raid as well, I'd be down. All right, so while we set up for the post-game interview, I think I am going to go to a be right back scene so we can get this set up, guys. So we'll see you shortly. Keep it here. All right, guys, we are back, and I'm joined today by High Surveillance. Those were some pretty great rounds you had.
Yeah, they were very close. Yeah, it was definitely a bit of a sweat at the end.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Take us through your first match on Thompson House. They were pressuring you pretty early in the game, and you were able to come back in the mid game and put the pressure right back on the survivors, especially late game, and get that 4K. Were you feeling the pressure in the early game of that round?
Oh, definitely. I don't think you never not feel pressure in a comp game. I think you've always got to try and do your best. So it doesn't really. I don't think it really matters how you're doing in the game. There's always going to be a lot of pressure, isn't there? But yeah, I can tell you I was definitely very rusty at the start.
yeah, it was fun to watch for sure for us, and fun to call. I definitely was feeling like the survivors had the advantage early on, and then you were able to kind of get them to snowball a little bit, keeping them all off of gens while having Ruin up. That's definitely something I've seen you do quite well in the past as well. Is you get like strong survivor teams to have 3 people off of gens. Is that something that you practice and are trying to do consistently?
I think while Ruin's up, you've really got to make the most value out of it, you know? You can't afford to camp while you have your Ruin up. The best thing to do is to go out and really stop the teams from doing what they're there to do, is get the gens and get out. I think when Ruin's up, you've really got to put your pressure down, you know? Once Ruin's gone, you can play it a bit safer, but when Ruin's up, my strategy is always to pressure those gens very fucking hard.
Yeah, I definitely understand, and like I would say you did a really good job of that. I mean, there were multiple times I counted, and I was calling. You had 3 survivors off of gens and Ruin still up, so you know that all the gens, with the exception of possibly 1, were regressing, which is a lot of pressure for you. Definitely take us through the last round versus Jazzy, knowing that Prestige had to have a perfect game and limit the amount of points that you had in order to come out with a win. What was the strategy like? What did you guys talk about in the pregame? Like, all right, we need to do this to make sure we have the win.
We talked about a few different things, but we went out there knowing that we needed to get, I think, 2 gens in the end, 3 gens. So we set out there to make sure we got those 3 gens done, and then from that point onwards, we would play the game and see what we got. In the end, Jazzy got a good 4K, and
indeed,
well played for that. You know, it was a nice 4K in the end, but for us, we'd just got the win before that, so it was all right for us in the end.
Yeah, and definitely all the matches, like I said, were exciting for us. It was exciting especially to know that there was the possibility for it to come back around, and knowing Jazzy was bringing their strongest killer, and knowing you guys knew exactly what you needed to do to close out the win possibility, and you guys did a very good job of that, pressuring the Tinkerer and just finishing the 3 gens. And then you could kind of tell you guys kind of laxed up a little bit after that. You guys were playing very safe to start. Like, you were throwing pallets way early, just pre-dropping all the pallets, huh?
Yeah, I think it was just to stop him from getting any slug, because we knew that he'd go for the slug at 4 or 5 gens and try and get the win off of that, you know? So for us, it was not giving him too much early game pressure and get into the mid game and have the gens done was always the strategy there.
Indeed. And then for the killer choice on the round for Gas Heaven for yourself, you came out with twins. Did you want to come out with a strong killer like twins just to try to close out the win there, or like, what was your thought process on picking twins?
So for us, we weren't going to run a twins. We actually had a nurse that we were planned to run. With our point lead, we thought we'd go for not a low tier killer, but definitely like a A to B tier killer, and try and hold that point lead and go into the last game with a significant advantage.
I'm patting myself on the back here a little bit because I was trying to call that out like during the shoutcast. I was like, I think a or a B tier killer maybe, like that's gonna be the thought process. But it is exciting to hear that you guys were actually thinking about bringing Nurse. That's I don't know that I would have brought Nurse on Gas Heaven, but that's an exciting play as well. Yeah, you guys did very well in today's match, and definitely good luck on the next ones in the future.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I do have a couple of questions.
Oh, I'm gonna hand off to Rambo then.
So firstly, of the teams you have left to face, you got Arctic Wolves and uh, Metro in your EU bracket still, and then of course over on the NA side, you got Six and Demise and Monarchy. And someone else I'm leaving out that I just am spacing on at this exact second. Is there a specific team you're a little nervous to face?
We'll play whoever you put in front of us, and we'll play off of that. There's no point of going into a team and being nervous to play against them. It's not going to help our team, and it doesn't do anything for them either. So we'll go in and play whoever we play.
Is there anyone
I haven't actually looked, to be honest. Like I said, we'll watch the teams play today, see what killers they use, what we don't have to play against, and we'll base all of our scrims for the next week off of that.
And then lastly, is there anything you want to say to Prestige and or the chat?
Of course, Prestige played really fucking well today, really, really well. I take my hat off to them. It was a very close game, especially near the end. We all had a bit of a sweat on in the Nurse game as well at the start. But yeah, I feel a bit unlucky I feel a bit sad for them. They played really well, and I wish them all the best in the next up and coming Vigos tournaments as well.
Oh well, the next thing is league, so
so it's straight to leagues. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're not. This tournament was strictly to figure out where to put people, because
okay.
taking a 6-month break, I don't know where y'all stand. Everyone's telling me they're good. That doesn't mean anything. I need to see you play.
We all believe we're good.
Yep, and
absolutely.
So going off of that, we will likely see we will see Prestige versus UA again in the future. Do you feel like a sense of a little bit of a rivalry, like oh man, we know this is going to be a tough game every time we face them? They're like kind of like they're gunning for you, or you're gunning for them a little bit.
I'm sure Prestige will want to get their own back after today. I mean, I would as well. So
yeah, indeed.
I'm sure they'll be bringing some good killers to try and put us in the dirt when we see them again.
It'll definitely be an exciting one to watch.
Anything you want to say to your fans / the chat?
I just want to thank everyone for coming out and watching. It always means a lot seeing the chat, watching the games, even critiquing us quite heavily sometimes. But it's all fun and games, and I'm glad everyone stopped in and watched today. And I'm sure we'll be watching later as well for the rest of the teams today.
Yeah, well, indeed.
Thank you so much, Hi. We appreciate you coming to talk to us.
Thank you very much. Have a good day, guys.
You as well.
You too.
Take us out, Vader.
All right, guys. And with that, court is adjourned. We will be back at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So catch us here. We are going to go ahead and raid. I didn't see anybody suggest where we raid to. So Rambo, where you want to take us?
Up to you.
Up to me.
Decide.
Oh my gosh, this is so much pressure on me all at once. All right, guys. So if I'm taking the raid, let me see who's live real quick. I've got to check it. I think we will raid. We are going to go ahead and raid that one guy D. It looks like he's playing some killer right now. And all right, so we've got that raid queued up, guys. And as I said earlier, court is adjourned. We'll see you back here at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Bye, guys.